Give me a before and after.
Yeah.
What happens, like the family out there that's trying to figure out, is it a fit? What is their life typically like before they meet you?
Mm-hmm. So let's do an example. We'll call her Sarah. Okay. Sarah is an executive. She's running her family business. Her dad retired 2 years ago out of the business. She's married, but her husband, he's the CFO of a publicly traded company, and he's on the other side of the globe. So he's unavailable for the next 3 or 4 days while he's traveling. Everything's falling to Sarah, right? So we'll give an example of Sarah with an FO and Sarah without an FO.
Okay, let's do it.
Sarah wakes up at 6:30 in the morning, and the first thing Sarah sees is an email from her accountant letting her know that she got a tax notice. And she's like, what does this even mean? All you did was send me the notice. Then she spends the next 45 minutes trying to figure out what's happening, what documentation is needed, trying to find that documentation and communicate back with the accountant. All the while, she's trying to get everybody out the door, get herself out the door. She's on her way to work when she's stepping into her first meeting of the day, which is an 18-month strategic plan for the company. Yeah. She's running it. She
Big
needs
deal.
to be in that meeting. And yet while she's stepping into that meeting, she gets an email from her investment manager saying, hey, one of your private investments is delayed. What do you want to do about that? And she's like, oh, what do you mean? What do I want to do about that? Give me the options. And then she's in the back of her mind running those options, and she's half present in that meeting that she's running. While she's doing that, then the next client arrives. It's a client she's been working to close for 3 months. She steps into that meeting, and while she's in that meeting, she gets a text from the contractor that's building her house. And he's like, you don't pay this invoice. My team's not showing up today. And she's like, what invoice? She's scrolling through her emails, and she's like, oh, crud, I missed that invoice 2 weeks ago, and I need to pay that. She's paying the invoice. The client can tell she's not engaged. Client walks out the door. The close didn't happen. Sarah knows she needs to leave at 3 p.m. to make it to her daughter's dance recital. At 2:30, she realizes she hasn't booked anything for spring break. She's made all sorts of promises to her kids, and nothing has been booked, and it's in 2 weeks. So she scrambled, overpaying for prices, lodging, experiences, all of that, and looks up at 3:10 and is like, ah, and has to get out the door. She's sprinting out the door to get across town. She runs into the dance recital, sweaty, flustered. She's standing room only at the back of the room. She does see her daughter go on stage.
That's key.
She made it. But she gathers her daughter at the end. They pick up a couple kids on the way home, a couple more of their kids on the way home.
Sure.
They're going through the drive-through fast food. Sarah hasn't thought about feeding herself, much less anybody else today. She's getting everybody fed and into bed, and then Sarah crumbles into her seat in her office to finish all of the things that she didn't do today because she was distracted at work.
Right.
She climbs into bed well after midnight for hopefully maybe 6 hours of sleep if she can stop wrestling over these things in her mind. Gets up the next morning to do it all over again. Okay, Sarah has a family office.
Okay, so now first of all, I'm very stressed.
Right.
I'd like to give Sarah a hug. Sarah now has a family office. Not even our family office.
Just a family office.
A family office. Replay the day.
Okay, Sarah wakes up at 6:30. Sarah looks at her phone, sees the latest update from her family office. There was a tax notice that came in yesterday. Handled. Nothing. She's informed. No action items for Sarah. The next item on the list, the investment management team sent over a note and said, hey, the private investment is delayed. The family office has responded, looked at the options, evaluated them, and provided a recommendation. They just needed an approval from Sarah. Third, Sarah has an update on the construction of their new home. She's getting an update on where they are from a cost perspective, how much of the construction is complete, what the upcoming milestones are, and what the next invoices that the team is going to pay are. All of the other invoices have already been paid. Sarah reads it, responds, approves the investment opportunity that the team suggested. Sarah puts her phone down, calmly gets everybody ready for school, gets herself into the first meeting, 18-month strategic meeting, crushes it. They know exactly where they're headed. Client meeting, they've been trying to close that for 3 months. Done. He signs in the meeting. At 2:30, Sarah is like, oh, spring break. Checks her calendar. At her family office with the coordination of her executive assistant, booked 3 months ago. They're going to their favorite villa, flying first class. All of that is handled. The kids' experiences are even handled because that was already done. And she was like, oh. Sarah looks up. She's like, I'm ready to go. She leaves 10 minutes early before she needed to leave.
Get out of here.
Grabs flowers on the way to the dance recital. She's sitting front row at that dance recital. She gets her daughter's 1,000,000-watt smile as she makes eye contact right there. They're present. Sarah takes her daughter. They pick up their other 2 kids on the way home, and they're headed home, but they don't go through the drive-through. They're going home to a freshly prepared private chef meal that their FFO team set up through their concierge services.
Yeah.
That comes a couple times a week to prep that. Everybody is well fed, nice balanced meal. Everybody enjoys conversation over that meal. Nobody's having to scramble to get everything together. Sarah gets her kids to bed. Sarah pours herself a nice glass of wine,
Hey,
crawls into bed at 9 p.m., reads a couple chapters in her book, and gets 8 hours of sleep before she wakes up the next
I
morning.
will tell you one thing. That sounds fantastic.